Good morning, students. Today we will discuss about the regenerative Rankine cycle. In the previous class, we have discussed about reheat Rankine cycle. Another type of very important and most efficient Rankine cycle is regenerative Rankine cycle. First, we will see what is the principle of regenerative Rankine cycle. But before that, we should understand what is meant by the mean temperature of heat addition. If you remember, in one of the previous sessions, I have mentioned that the mean temperature of heat addition is one of the important aspects that will be affecting the efficiency. When we are discussing about the practical difficulties of the Carnot cycle, I told about this point. Now we'll see, we'll understand, try to understand what is the mean temperature of heat addition. Typically, if you see, this is a Rankine cycle. This is a Rankine cycle. In this Rankine cycle, you see this is the, from this point we are going to add the heat till this point, right? There are basically three stages of heat addition. So what are the three stages? One is the sensible heat of the compressed liquid. This is the compressed liquid. We are adding the sensible heat till the saturation point. And the second one is the latent heat of vaporization. From C to D, this is the C to D is the latent heat of vaporization, which will be added during the constant temperature and pressure. And the third one is the superheating heat, superheat of the dry steam. So already by this point, the steam will be dry saturated. To that dry saturated steam, we are adding some more heat and making it superheated steam. And the amount of heat added in the is given by the area under the curve 4CD1. That means this is the curve. This is 0.4, 4CD1. So the area below this will be indication of the amount of heat added, right? Sorry. So the mean temperature of heat addition depends on the average temperature of each stage. What is this statement? Average temperature of each stage means, for example, if you take this stage 1, this particular sensible heat, this heat if you are taken, this is the starting point of the heat addition and this is the ending point of the heat addition. So here there is one temperature and here there is another temperature. So the heat is getting added over a temperature range, right? So if you take the average of this one and similarly average of this one and this one, if you take the averages of superheating and sensible heating and the latent heat, if you take average of each stage, then the mean temperature of heat addition will be depending on those averages, right? So we will see a small analysis to find out expression for mean temperature of heat addition. So here you can see what is the Q in. Q in is equal to the H1 minus H4. Okay, see this is the H4 or this one is the 4.4. Okay, so the difference of enthalpies of 1 and 4 is nothing but the amount of heat added. So if you take this one and if you consider a mean temperature, that means see the temperature is continuously changing from 0.4 to 0.1. Continuously it is varying and it is increasing, right? Only in the during the latent heat of evaporation, the temperature is constant. During the sensible heat, the temperature is changing, and also during the superheating, the temperature is changing. So if you are considering one particular mean temperature, wherein if you consider this mean temperature Tm, the temperature multiplied by the entropy. Entropy means that this is the entropy. So this is the TS diagram, right? So what we told actually, the area below this one is the heat added part. So if you are taking one mean temperature and multiplied by, this is the S1 and this is S4, because this is 0.4, this is S4, this is 0.1, this is S1. So what is the area of this particular rectangle? This is equal to the mean temperature multiplied by the difference of entropies. So this is the equation. So the Qin is equal to H1 minus H4, which can be written as a mean temperature, an average temperature multiplied by the difference of entropies. So from this you can write the expression as H1 minus H4 by S1 minus S4. This is the expression for mean temperature of heat addition. So the amount of heat supplied in the boiler divided by the change in entropy during the heat addition. So this is the expression for mean temperature of heat addition. And similarly, you can also find out the heat rejected per kg of steam in the same way, right? So what is the same way? So this is what is the area that will be representing the heat rejection? So this is the area. The area below this TL, TL means low temperature. Area below the low temperature is the area which is corresponding to the heat rejected. The heat rejected is represented by the area below this condenser line, this condensation line, right? So this is equal to, the area is, this one is equal to TL into again S1 minus S4. So this heat out is equal to H2 minus H3. This is H2 and this is H3. So the difference of enthalpies is equal to the TL multiplied by the entropy difference. So TL into S1 minus S4. So this is the expression. So now we got a expression for both the Q in and Q out. We got expression for Q in and Q out. Let us just wipe out all these things. Now from the what you can understand, what is the excuse me, the efficiency of the Rankine cycle is given by 1 minus Q out by Qn. So Q8 is also there is expression, and Qin is also there is expression. If you substitute these expressions in this particular equation, 1 minus Q out is equal to TL into S1 minus S4 and divided by Qin is equal to Tm into S1 minus S4. So these two things will get cancelled. S1 minus S4 and S1 minus S4 will get cancelled. And finally, you will be left with the equation Rankine cycle efficiency is equal to 1 minus TL by Tm. That is this is the low temperature means the lower temperature of the Rankine cycle, and this is the mean temperature of heat addition. So because this lower temperature is a constant one for a given cycle plant, this will be constant. The Rankine efficiency is basically a function of Tm. So it depends on the mean temperature of heat addition. So if this particular quantity is increased, the efficiency will increase. So our aim is to improve this Tm so that the efficiency will be increased. Thus, the higher mean effect of the mean temperature of heat addition, higher will be the thermal efficiency of the Rankine cycle. This is the point you have to understand. Because the amount of heat added may be same. The amount of heat added may be same, but if you are adding that heat at a higher temperature, the entropy will be decreased. What is the equation of entropy? ds is equal to dq by T. So that means if the temperature, it is in the denominator. So if this is increased, the entropy will decrease. So the difference in the entropy will decrease. So this will help a high quality energy. High quality, this will indicate a high quality energy. So therefore, we will be getting a higher efficiency. Right? So you understood what is the mean temperature of heat addition. So if the mean temperature of heat addition is increased, the efficiency will increase. Now we'll see what is a regenerative Rankine cycle. So there are basically two kinds of setup in this regenerative Rankine cycle. One is the open feed water heater and with a closed loop feed water heater. Open feed water heater and closed feed water heater. So what is a feed water heater? It's a very, very important thing. So typically in a Rankine plant, Rankine cycle based power plant, the boiler will be supplying the steam and the steam is sent to the turbine and the turbine will be generating the work by the expansion of the steam and the steam from the exit of the turbine will be going into the condenser and it will be sent to a from the condenser the condensate means the liquid will go to the feed water pump and this feed water pump will be pumping the water to a boiler pressure. So this is the typical setup. In the regenerative Rankine cycle, what we are trying to do, in the regenerative Rankine cycle, we are trying to increase the mean temperature of heat addition. For example, if you take this particular Rankine cycle and if you are expanding till this point, okay, the steam is expanded from 1 to 3, 1 to 3, then it has gone to the lower temperature. Okay, so if you take a normal Rankine cycle without regeneration, this is the normal Rankine cycle without regeneration. Okay, so here what is happening? Some heat will be added, some energy will be added here, and some energy will be added here, and some energy will be added here, and some will be added here. So there is a wide range of temperature, very wide range of temperature of heat addition. So this is going to decrease the Tm. Okay, so from very low temperature to very high temperature, the heat is getting added. So this will decrease Tm. If the Tm is decreased, what is happening? The quality of the energy will be less and efficiency will be decreased. So instead of adding the heat at a very low temperature, in the regenerative Rankine cycle, a different approach is followed. So here, the steam is sent to the turbine. At some intermediate pressure, some of the steam will be extracted from the turbine. Some of the steam will be extracted to the turbine, and that will be sent. That steam will be sent to the open feed water heater. Open feed water heater is nothing but a heat exchanger. It is a heat exchanger. That means the feed water that is coming from the condenser, it is being heated before sending it to the boiler. So some heat is added here only, right? So the steam will be having some higher temperature and some higher energy. We are not taking the entire steam, only some partial amount of steam we are taking. So this is the M1 kg. For example, if 1 kg of steam is sent to the turbine, out of that 1 kg, M1 kg is extracted at some intermediate pressure. And remaining steam means 1 minus M1 kg. This is going into the condenser like with the complete expansion in the turbine and then to the condenser and then to the feed water pump. Okay, so here you see a part of the superheated steam is taken from turbine at state 2. This is the state 2. This is the superheated steam. Okay, once it is expanding till some dry saturation point or some near to dry saturation point, some steam will be taken. some steam will be taken, then it is directly it is being sent to the feed water heater. Directly it is sent to the feed water heater. The extracted steam is sent to the heat exchanger called feed water heater, and the remaining steam expands to the turbine to state 3. So whatever remaining steam is there, that is 1 minus m1 kg. Now it is expanding. So here you have taken m1 kg outside, and remaining 1 minus m1 kg will be expanded to stage 3. So this 1.1 minus m1, this is following the regular process, and but m1, this is going directly to feed water heater. So this is a open feed water heater. Open feed water heater means the steam and the water are directly mixed. The steam and water are directly mixed in the heater. So directly there will be mixing taking place, and heat transfer will be taking place directly, right? So here the steam is condensed from state 3 to state 4. So here the remaining steam 1 minus m1 kg is condensed from state 3 to state 4, and the condensate is compressed from state 4 to state 5 and enters into the feed water heater. So this is the pump work. So your here there are two pumps basically. One is this pump and another is this pump. Okay, so this is one pump. You are making a so this particular pump. This pump is a first pump is a compressing the liquid and sending to the feed water heater. And after mixing, this is the stage of mixing. This is the stage of mixing. So after mixing, this is the one stream that is coming. Okay, stream 1. This is stream 2. So these two are mixed in this particular point. These two are mixed at this particular point. So in this particular point, the stream 1, that is m1 1 minus m1 kg of steam, that is expanded fully in the turbine, and the m kg of steam that is expanded only up to 0.2. Both will be mixing at this point, that is the feed water heater. And then another pump. This is the second pump. This is the first. This pump is this one. This is the WP2, and this is the WP1. Okay, so the second pump is again compressing this one to boiler pressure, to the boiler pressure. Okay, so you have to understand each and every stage correctly what is happening in this particular cycle. So very, very important one. If you make a mistake in this one, then you will be not, unable to do the problem, right? So here, so the condensate compressed from state 4 to state 5 and then enters into the feed water heater. After compression of the liquid of 1 minus m1 kg of the liquid, it is going to the feed water heater. That is point number 6. Okay, and then from 6, the compressed liquid directly mixes with the extracted steam. This is the extracted steam. The m1 kg is the extracted steam. So that will be mixing directly. And this type of feed water heater is called the direct contact type feed water pump. Direct contact type feed water pump. Okay. So this one is direct contact type. This type of feed water heater is called direct contact type feed water heater. And the liquid is from here, the liquid is sent to the boiler at state 7. Okay, at state 7, the liquid will be sent to the boiler. So this is the typical operation of the regeneration. So what is meant by regeneration? Regeneration is nothing but you are increasing the temperature of heat addition. You are increasing the temperature of heat addition. So here, if you are completely expanding, the temperature is the entire energy is added between this point, and this point. But here, some of the heat is added during this temperature. this temperature and pressure. Some of the heat is added during this temperature. So that's why the mean temperature of heat addition will be increased. So because of that, the efficiency of the Rankine cycle will be increased. Let us see the analysis here. So let 1 kg of steam is entering the turbine, and let a mass of m1 kg is extracted from turbine at pressure P2. This is pressure P2. So some mass will be taken out of 1 kg. And remaining mass 1 minus m1 kg of steam is expanded through 2, 3. So this is 2, 3. And then 3, 4. This is 3, 4. So the remaining steam is going from this 2, 3, 3, 4 and 4, 5. And 4, 5. So here in these 3 stages, only 1 minus m1 kg is going. And m1 kg is going from 2 to 5. m1 kg is going from 2 to 5. Sorry, 2 to 6. Not 2 to 5, 2 to 6. So here there are 2 streams. m1 kg is going 2 to 6. And 1 minus m1 kg is going 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5. And then it will be mixed at 0.6. So after mixing, the stream will become saturated liquid at state 6. Saturated liquid at state 6. So this is the saturated liquid at state 6. And then it is compressed to boiler pressure at state 7. So here it will be compressed to the boiler pressure. Okay. So this is the analysis. Applying the steady flow energy equation to the mixing process 2 to 6. See carefully. So here in the feed water heater, one stream is coming from directly from the turbine, and another one is coming from condenser and then pump. These 2 streams are mixing. So again here, what is the quantity that is mixing? M1 from this channel plus 1 minus M1 from this channel. So both will be, again this and this will get cancelled, and 1 kg will be getting in the feed water heater. After mixing, again the steam will become 1 kg. So here if you apply this steady flow energy equation for the mixing process in the feed water heater. So what is the enthalpy here? Here this enthalpy is H5. This much enthalpy multiplied by this quantity. This much enthalpy multiplied by this quantity is equal to this much enthalpy multiplied by this quantity. So here this, both the enthalpies must be equal to the enthalpy at 6. So 1 minus m1 multiplied by H5 plus H2 into m1 is equal to 1. Here it is becoming 1 into H6. So this is the equation. 1 minus m1 into H5 plus m1 into H2, m1 into H2 is equal to H6. Or if you rearrange the terms, H5 minus m1 H5 plus m1 H2 is equal to H6. So if you take this one common, m1 is equal to H6 minus H5 divided by H2 minus H5. Okay, so this is H6 minus H5 divided by H2 minus H5. So this is the fraction of heat that can be obtained by the values of enthalpies here. Now the heat supplied is straightforward. Only the heat is supplied externally from 1 to 7 only. This heat is coming from internal energy of the steam. This we are not giving from outside. This is already there in the steam. So we are giving the heat outside from the boiler during this process 1 and 7. Okay, so the Qin is equal to H1 minus H7. And heat rejected is equal to this one. How much heat is getting rejected between this point and this point? and quantity is only this much. So the Q out is equal to 1 minus M1 into H3 minus H4. And turbine work you see here carefully. Turbine work is given by the difference of enthalpies during the process multiplied by the quantity of the steam. Okay, so here full 1 kg is coming. 1 to 2, 1 kg is coming, but 2 to 3, it is 1 minus M1 kg, and between 2 and 6, this is M1 kg. So here the entire steam is not going through the turbine. Full 1 kg steam, full quantity is going from 1 to 2 only, and at 2 we are taking some steam out. So the remaining steam is going through the process of 2 to 3. Okay, so here 1 into H1 minus H2 plus 1 minus M1 into H2 minus H3. So turbine work is given by H1 minus H2 into 1. This is the 1 is not shown here because it is 1 kg plus 1 minus M1 into H2 minus H3. So this is the turbine work, right? And similarly, the pump work is like this. Similarly, the pump work is given by the pump work is given by 2 pumps are there. Total pump work is between this point and another this point. So H5 minus H4, this is again the quantity is 1 minus M1, and here again full quantity 1 kg. After mixing it will become 1 kg. So here pump work is equal to H7 minus H6, H7 minus H6 into 1 full quantity, and then 1 minus M1 into H5 minus H4. So this is the pump work. Okay, so you have to understand this concept very clearly, otherwise there is a chance of making a mistake. So the net work done is equal to the turbine work minus pump work. So H1 minus H2 from here to here plus 1 minus M1 into H2 minus H3, and minus pump work H7 minus H6, H7 minus H6 full quantity, and 1 minus M1 into H5 minus H4. So this is partial quantity. So the thermal efficiency is given by eta REG, means the regenerative efficiency, the regenerative Rankine cycle efficiency. This is a 1 minus Q out by Q in. So the Q out is equal to this one 1 minus M1 into H3 minus H4 divided by Q in H1 minus H7. So this is the efficiency of the regenerative Rankine cycle. So in the regenerative Rankine cycle, the feed water enters the boiler at temperature T7, and its mean temperature of heat addition is given by Q in. So here you see this one is okay. So the energy, this is S1 and this is S7. Okay, so the heat is getting added between S1 and S7. So H1 minus H7 by S1 minus S7. So this will give you the mean temperature of heat addition in a regenerative cycle. Okay. Now the mean temperature of heat addition without regeneration. Without a regeneration in a simple Rankine cycle. Simple Rankine cycle means you can see we are directly taking like this. We are not considering this stage. Directly it is going. Then what is this one? This is S1 and this is S5. Previously it is S7. Okay, so S7, S1 minus S7 and S1 minus S5. S1 minus S5 is greater and S1 minus S7 is lesser. Okay, so if you are taking a direct Rankine cycle, then the mean temperature of heat addition is equal to Q in by S1 minus S5 or H1 minus S7 by S1 minus S5. So since S1 minus S7 is less than S1 minus S5, so that efficiency, that mean temperature of a regenerative cycle is more than mean temperature of heat addition for a Rankine cycle. Understand the statement? The mean temperature of heat addition of a regenerative Rankine cycle is more than mean temperature of heat addition of a Rankine cycle. So therefore, if this is higher, the efficiency will be higher. So it's as simple as that. So because of, so this is a, we'll take another color. Let me clearly show you. This is S5 and this is S1. So if you take another one, this is S7. Okay, so S1 minus S5 is there and S1 minus S7 is there. So this is lesser and this is greater. So if this is greater means you can see in the previous one. You can see here. So if this quantity is more, if this quantity is more, this quantity is less. If this quantity is less, Tm will be more. So here this is the lesser quantity. So the mean addition of mean temperature of heat addition will be higher. Similarly, if this quantity is higher, this quantity will be lower. Okay, so if this increases, this decreases. So because this one is greater than this one, so this is a greater quantity than this one. The mean temperature of heat addition of Rankine cycle is less than the mean temperature of heat addition of regenerative cycle. So this is a very, very important conceptual point you should understand, right? So why the regenerative Rankine cycle will be having higher efficiency? If anyone asks, you can easily say that because of the mean temperature of heat addition is higher in case of regenerative Rankine cycle. That's why the efficiency is more, because basically the entropy difference will be less, which will increase the quality of energy. So advantages of regeneration: it raises the temperature of feed water to the saturation temperature, and thus the amount of heat addition in the boiler decreases. Okay, so the energy that we are supplying through the boiler will be decreased because the feed water is already getting heated up because of the bleed steam. Bleed steam means actually here this is called, the steam which is coming here is called bleed steam. So we are extracting some steam. Okay, so the amount of heat added in the boiler will be reduced because of the direct heating of the feed water in feed water heater using the bleed steam. The heat added in the boiler is higher average temperature. This is of course because the temperature in the average temperature of heat addition in the boiler will be higher, and open feed water heater serves as a deaerator. This is one important point. So in the open feed water heater, the steam is directly coming from the turbine and the water is coming from condenser. They will be mixed together. So it is going to increase the feed water heater pressure to a higher pressure, and which will be decreasing the chances of air leakages and any other non-condensable gases. Everything will be decreased. Okay, So because of the higher pressure in the feed water heater, the air leakages will be decreased, and there is no requirement of separate air removing pump. It acts as a deaerator, means it will remove the air and other non-condensable gases from the feed water. Otherwise, they will cause corrosion. So this is about the regenerative Rankine cycle. Then, right. Then we'll see one problem on this one. It's a very simple one. See, any problem, you remember only one thing. You have to first understand the state of each and every point, and then get the enthalpy values correctly. Then you can easily solve any problem. So the concepts must be very clear to you, because how much fraction of steam is going directly to the feed water heater, and how much steam is going to the condenser, and how to apply the energy equations, you have to very clearly understand. Let us solve one problem in next session.